I don't know that I've ever heard a more powerful statement in my life, because it's so true, right? Why do people need to have a diagnosis that tells them that they're going to die to live out all of the things on their bucket list? Why do people that know that the end is coming seem more blissful after knowing and doing all of these things that they wanted to do or say that they wanted to do because the end is coming? Why does it take knowing that their life is coming to an end? See, we all have these choices in our lives, right? We all have these decisions that we make that really shape the way our lives go. Maybe you're somebody who has been in a relationship for a while and you'd rate it a 6 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Not bad, right? There's people that are doing way worse. But if I told you that you were going to die in 5 years, in 3 years, in a year, that's 6 or 7 out of 10 doesn't seem so great. Or maybe you're working a job that you can't stand. What if I told you that you only had a year left to live? How quickly would you step out of that job and go do something that makes you happy, that brings you joy? See, why do we have to threaten ourselves with the loss of life to find a life? Like, how impactful is that? And that's why I think that saying is so powerful. Every man has 2 lives. The second starts when you realize you have just one. Because we spend all of this time thinking either A, that we have time, or B, we give up so much of our time casting judgment and everything else outward that we forget to live our life. What brings you happiness? And when you realize that happiness is a choice, you can choose to be happy. That's exactly what the person who gets the terminal diagnosis does. Well, I've got 6 months. Let's make the best of it. And they're choosing to be happy. They're making the decisions and choices that are leading them to joy and happiness. See, there's this really powerful phenomenon that goes on in the mind. And take a second as I break this down for you. Happy thoughts that come into your mind, right? They disappear really quickly, right? Something good happens, you feel good about it, boom, okay. It moves on. But negative ones, negative thoughts that you find in your mind tend to linger there and stay there, and you have to work through them, right? And you have to process them. Why is that? Why is it? Why is it that the happy thoughts disappear so fast, but the negative ones stick around for a while? See, I think that we're just programmed and we're conditioned to focus on the negative. Why do you think the news doesn't have a whole bunch of success stories on it? And the reason why you come up with this, audit, if you will, of your thoughts, and what I'm going to talk to you about doing is start to audit your mind. Start to audit your mind. So when we have these negative thoughts, if we start to audit our mind and we start to audit, why am I having these thoughts? Okay, does this provide some type of value into my life? If it doesn't, get rid of it. Let it go. Maybe it's a bad relationship. Maybe it's shit that you went through as a kid. Maybe it's, just the life that you had growing up wasn't the easiest. How long are you going to put your second life on hold because you can't realize that you only get one? Building off of that statement, right? Like, we all have our diseases, right? We all have our things that we struggle with. We all have our own vices. We all have our own disease that we have. The problem is a lot of times we're too afraid to explore what that is so that we can work on it. Like, how long is it going to take us to break out from where you came from to get to where you should be? How long is it going to take you to break out from where you came from to get to where you should be? The only way that happens is by exploring and believing that happiness is a choice. That believing that happiness can be a choice that we choose to work on. Because how miserable, or how much hope does it give you if I say that nothing that you do in life from this point forward is in your control in terms of your own happiness? How much hope does that give you? I don't know about you, but for me, that doesn't give me a lot. It doesn't make me say, yep, all right, sick, today I'm going to be happy. It's kind of like this just wish that hopefully the things fall into place where they need to be, and now I'm going to be happy today. Maybe I'll be happy 1 out of 7 days, hopefully. Everything goes right on the outside world. Versus, you know what? I'm in control of my choices to be happy. I'm in control of my reactions. to all of these things that happen in my life. I can't control what happens, but I can control whether or not they happen to me or for me. And that's the switch, guys. That's the switch. It's getting rid of that victim mentality. Oh, this happened to me. Oh, this happened, No, it's this happened for me. See, all of the things that you've won at in life to this point, you've lost somewhere prior. And the experience of that failure, the experience of that loss, that shortcoming has led you to learn how to overcome and adapt and win. My man Brose, I hope you're still here, brother. I love you. Talks about social anxiety, right? Talks about social anxiety and how real it is. But my man overcomes it every single day when he goes live and speaks to 20, 30, 40, 50 people at a given time and puts on a show for these people, right? I'm sorry, but that's a social interaction, whether you believe it or not. That's a social interaction. So if I was to take those same, what's the difference if I take those same 30, 40, 50 people and put them in a room and you in front of them, right? It's because we cast outward our judgments, right? So as we cast outward our judgments of all of the people that we see in front of us, if we actually see their faces, now our mind starts to race, right? And our disease, our mind starts to race, and all of the things that we're thinking out, we're putting outward, which leads to us having stage fright, which leads to us not being able to perform in front of all those people. See, behind the Twitch screen, he doesn't have to see the faces of the people. So therefore, can't really cast out judgment, okay, that the world, like we talked about, is going to reflect back at us, which leads to that negative pattern of thinking, or in Brose's case, the social anxiety that he struggles with. And Brose, I hope you don't mind me using that as a small example if you are still here. A lot of times in life, we do feel like we have no control over what's going on around us. And the fact of the matter is, guess what? We don't. I cannot control, just put it in a stream perspective, like something really simple. I cannot control how many people tune into the channel today. Whether we have a stream for 10 people, a stream for 50 people, 200 people, I can't control that. What I can control is putting out the best content that I can for the people that do decide to tune in. And then from there, okay, let's say that it's a stream where not a lot of people tune in. That happened for me. So it's giving me the opportunity. So I can say that happened to me. Oh, that sucks. I'm a terrible streamer. There's nothing I can do. Like, just not a lot of people don't tune into my channel. We've all been there. Versus the for me, versus a victor mindset versus victim, right? Victor. This is allowing me the opportunity to sharpen up my content. So when I do have 200 viewers in my channel, I'm going to be prepared and ready and the best version of myself to put the best content out there. So when that does happen, that is the catapult, the spring that I need to continue to better my streaming career. That's the difference. That's the shift in mindset. I'm going to choose to be happy with what I have and the reactions to what goes on around me versus taking that choice away and being a slave to my own life. Don't be a slave to your own life. You have the choice. You have the power to choose happiness if you believe that happiness is possible for you. I hope that makes sense, guys. I really do, because when we take the opportunity to make happiness a choice, we have the power to work on it and work on it and work on it. And guess what, guys? It's a gradual, ongoing progression. Maybe today you choose 2 out of 10 things to be happy about. Tomorrow maybe it's 3. Tomorrow, the following day maybe it's 4. Then maybe you slip and you fall down to 2 or 3. It's okay. As long as you hold on to the belief that happiness is a choice, your second life can start right now. Every man has 2 lives. The second starts when you realize you have just one. Remember that.